Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be unboxing my Aerogarden Harvest Microgreen Kit. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so I'm back here with you. As you can see, in a bit of a new location. So it's been a minute. I've been moving and kind of rejiggering my life and things. So, but I'm so happy to be back. Thank you guys. Again, just a quick shout out. I try to do this as often as I can. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed and who follow me on Instagram and are just always so supportive and most of all prompting me to do more videos and just saying, hey, when's the next video coming out? So I really appreciate it. Appreciate the love and the support. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you can be made aware of all my future videos, as I will continue to start making more now that I'm kind of a little bit more settled in here. And also, if you have Instagram, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I try to post regularly there and get a lot of messages there. So feel free to inbox me with any questions or, again, just kind words that you guys have. So thank you. So today I'm going to talk about this Aerogarden Microgreens kit. Now, I love amazing microgreens. Microgreens are really amazing. They are so quick to grow. They're like one of the easiest things that you can do because you're basically just taking the seeds, and it's like the seedling. So, well, this is from my rise garden, but if you look at this, it's like right just before they get what's called the first true leaves, and I've got a new camera, as you can tell, so I'm not sure if it's focusing very well. But so just before you get what's called the first true leaves. Now, the true leaves are the actual leaf. And I think I may have said this in the video before, but it's the actual leaf that you're going to see. Like, so this is my red cloud tot soy, and it's already got a little bit of redness. I don't know, whatever I'm trying to say. It's like it's got color. There we go. That's other than green. So it's like a dark color that's starting to come through, and I assume it's going to be like a really pretty red color. But this guy here, like typically, like your seeds that you see or seedlings that you see that kind of look like clovers. That's kind of what's happening here. And the clover-looking seedlings, that's what your microgreens are. And a lot of times people stop either there or, as I said, like at the first true leaf where you have that leaf. And again, this is the clover, the technical term is called cotyledon. And that is the part of the seed that sprouts out, and it has all the nutrients in there. So, like for instance, these seedlings don't need any nutrients. They don't need any of the NPK, the nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, or phosphorus, potassium. I always forget PK, right? Potassium is at the end. You guys get what I'm saying, but it doesn't need the nutrients at this time. It usually doesn't need nutrients until, I'd say, till like maybe the second set of true leaves. So because again, it gets all that that goodness in these in the cotyledon. And I see all that to say that that's why microgreens are so rich and so healthy for us to eat. Because, and I read somewhere where they talked about how they said that it's has 10 times the amount of nutrients that you get from its adult counterpart. So for instance, if I have broccoli microgreens, which I really love, and a nice pasta, first of all, they smell amazing. They smell like broccoli. Broccoli, but you know what I'm saying. They smell really good and they taste really good. Like the flavor is very strong, not strong like overpowering, but just like the very strong sense of broccoli, and it's really good. So, and the cool thing is, again, it usually takes between 7 days, for some maybe 14 days or so, to kind of get where you want them. You may have seen them at farmers markets or in restaurants, like they use them as a garnish. And it's, makes your dishes look really pretty. So if you want to take your dishes to the next level, or just kind of like me, where you're just trying to eat healthier, microgreens are the way to go. So yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys this. We're going to get into the unboxing right now. So you get this box, and then one thing I did want to point out make sure that when you get your package, you look in the box. I'm so horrible. I just pull out what I look for and then I'm done. And this was in there, and I was just like, why do I need padding? But it's not padding. It is your seed kit, your microgreens kit. So just so you know that. I don't know why they don't put it in the box. I don't know, maybe it's I have no idea. But keep an eye out to make sure that you have everything you need before you throw that big box away. And one note that I do want to make before moving forward, I've had people talk about microgreens before and say, oh, I want to buy the microgreen variety, or I want to buy this variety. Microgreens are seeds. It's nothing different. So basically, so instead of buying a little packet of like maybe 50 seeds, you're going to want a packet of like, God, I have no idea how many of these are in here, but it's a whole lot more than 50. So, but that's just the only distinction for microgreens versus the regular seeds that you're going to plant into your hydroponic system or outdoors in a garden. And this one is, oh, so it's cool. It's a superfood mix. That's the one I got, I guess. So it's got broccoli, purple kairobi, arugula, Tokyo Bicana, Chinese cabbage. I've never heard of that, so that's a cool one. Red cabbage and red Russian kale. So knowing me, what I might try to do is try to pull a little seedling or two out if I can identify it and grow it separately, because there's clearly no way of telling what's what in this bag, but it is pretty cool, so I'm excited about that. It says germination is guaranteed. So yeah, so it's I'm looking forward to this. So let's go into our new location and get started. P.S. One more thing. I'm seeing that there's a bounty version. So I have the harvest, so you can also get the bounty. And I guess it's telling you, so it says 4 teaspoons per side for the harvest, and then 8 for the bounty. So obviously the bounty is going to be a little bit bigger. Again, superfood, and it's going to be a little spicy. So not sure what's spicy in here. So I don't see any, the arugula. The arugula is probably going to be spicy, which is fine because it's not like a crazy heat. It's a nice little kick for me. I know some people are a little iffy about arugula, but they also do have other seed packs that you can get, so you don't have to do this one in particular. So anywho, let's get going, or let's get growing. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take out all of our stuff. Let's see, I'm trying to look over. I think that's everything. Alrighty. So now one of the first things you're going to do is you're going to take your grow deck. You're going to take this out of your harvest because you're not going to need that. It clearly says for you to save it and don't throw it away because they will not be replacing it, I guess. Anyway, so you get like 4 of these guys. These are like little felt materials, kind of like cotton, or like almost like one of those things that you use to clean your face. So it is felt, but they call it aero felt. I guess that's their coined term that they use for that. So this is what's going to get wet and stay damp so that your seeds can germinate. You know, when you're germinating your seeds in any situation, whether you're growing in hydroponically or growing outdoors, the key is to keep the seeds wet so the seed coat can break down and the seed can break through, or the seedling rather can break through. And so that's the same concept here. Other ways of growing microgreens is to use like cocoa peat or cocoa coir, or even some people use soil. I've had issues with cocoa coir. I find that I get a huge amount of fungus gnats because of the dampness or whatever. It's just, and it drives me crazy. So anytime I get an alternative to that, I love it. So basically what we're gonna do is you've got your little domes here. You're gonna keep the domes on it. Again, it's the humidity, the dampness that's going to get your seeds germinated quickly. And so yeah, so we're going to keep these guys on, or keep them rather, use them. And it's very clear and very easy to just simply put that in the system just like that. I assume we take them off just to get these guys wet, nice and wet on there. Okay, so you want to make sure that it's seated on here firmly. I believe it's nice and firm and not moving anywhere. The directions say to dampen these first because it's going to help the seeds stick better, and I think that is a good idea. So we're going to get these nice and damp and then place them in here. And then it says to do about, let's see, 2 teaspoons per Aero felt. And yeah, and one other tip that they say, less is not more when you're putting your seeds here. So I literally have my measuring spoon because I want to make sure that I'm measuring it out. It's probably not that deep, but I want to make sure that I'm doing exactly what they say to do for the best success. But yeah, if you put too many of the seeds together, they will get a little sticky, and the wetness will cause them to kind of stick together. And then some of them won't germinate, some of them will, and you'll just kind of won't have the desired outcome that you want. So let's get these nice and damp and then get our seeds on them. All right, so I'm just gonna lay these in here. Oh wow, they literally have a shape too. I don't know that that shape is quite necessary, but I'm gonna try to keep it the best way that I can. Okay, and then I'm gonna get these seeds open somehow. Please don't make a mess. Knowing myself, I will. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and sprinkle our seeds. So two teaspoons, and I'll spread that out. That side, and then this side. Uno, dos. There we go. Okay, I'll put these here, and then I'll just kind of evenly spread it out. You know, doesn't have to be perfect, but you want to try to get them to the point where they're all kind of like as separated as possible, just literally like one layer. So I'll do that on this side. Now it doesn't look like a lot, but you know, again, less is more. So we'll see how this turns out. Let's see, another tip they say is that, yeah, whenever you remove the domes, whenever you see the seedlings touching the top of it, which is, yeah, of course, makes sense because that's right around when it's going to be ready to harvest. Let's see. Okay, so I've got that going. Raise lights to the highest level possible. The purpose of them having you to raise the lights as tall as possible is because that's where you're going to get what's called, your seedlings are going to get leggy. And that's when they're really, really searching for light and they start stretching up a little taller. Because your goal, again, with microgreens is to not necessarily have them become mature plants, right? You don't want mature veggies and what have you. You really want them to be, you want the seedling, you want the top part, and it's nice to have them as long as possible so you can easily clip them or give them a haircut method. So that's what's gonna happen here. And just like that, the very next day, mind you, I don't consider this as sprouts necessarily, but I do wanna show you guys the cool seed coats that have already started cracking. That's, I guess, my whole premise of doing this. This is still nice and damp, so they're cracking out of their shell, their seed coats, and that's some good stuff. You can see the humidity sitting here on the dome. And you know, just one note, I was gonna say, typically you don't need the lights when you're doing microgreens or even really starting seeds, but because it's really not until they start to sprout out that you want to get the green or the light to help with the chlorophyll and all that good stuff. But I will say that it is a benefit because of the warmth. They're not very hot, as you know, but the warmth actually does kind of help. Because so when I usually do mine, I have like a heat mat underneath, and that's kind of how I get my seed coats to do their job. You know, the warmth, the humidity, and the moisture is always a awesome recipe for getting seeds to start sprouting. So this is exciting. And one thing I will say, it didn't do it yet while I'm talking, but the way this guy sits in here, as you can see that way, you want to keep it sitting in there so that as the water comes through, there's a level here, part here that I wanted to show you. Yeah, so the water comes through that bottom part and keeps it nice and damp, and then gets the felt, or the aero felt, keeps that nice and wet. The only problem is that as the water is trickling up, it sounds like somebody's going to the bathroom for like 5 minutes, and it's very annoying. So unfortunately, that's kind of what we're working with here. So when I have my regular pods in here, I don't hear any sound. I don't hear any trickling unless I'm like right up on it. Like this is my kitchen is like literally right adjacent to my bedroom, and oh my gosh, like all night, like I would just hear this trickling noise. So, you know, I'll live through it for the next 5 days or so. But yeah, just a quick note, just to kind of point that out. That's my only criticism now. Hopefully that will be my only altogether once everything is said and done. But yeah, it's kind of annoying. If you have a space where you can put it in quietly, I might try to move it a little further. But yeah, so that's the deal there. But these guys are starting to pop out, and looking forward to more progress in the next few days. Yeah, so the fuzz that you see on some of these, I don't even know where I'm pointing, but let's see where if I can show you some fuzz. Like fuzz there, you know, that's actually, those are like healthy roots. So that's not mold, nothing to worry about. So that's actually good stuff, right? So you can tell when it's starting to mold. It doesn't look, it's not that, you know, really pretty white. It's a little bit of a grayish color, and I think it starts to kind of get like a grayish bluish almost, but more like gray. But the white here is definitely like the little fuzzy roots, happy roots, little baby roots. I think they call them aerial roots. I'm not sure. I have to look that up, but especially when they're this little, maybe they're not aerial, but they're definitely healthy roots, so there's nothing to worry about. And I will put this guy back on there, and we will see how our progress looks tomorrow, because I assume that we will have a lot more. Maybe it'll be more green. Maybe they will have grown a little taller. Once they start getting sprouting, once I don't see a lot of the brown or like a lot of the seeds, I think I will remove them. Check back tomorrow. Okay, so that's the sound. I've been waiting for it to do this so you can hear it. So it's quite annoying, quite loud. Maybe not loud, but it's just, you know, just like that bubbling. It sounds like a toilet running, or, you know, some kind of plumbing. And so I think it does that, I want to say every 20 minutes for 5 minutes, or it's pretty often. So anywho, but that's the sound I was talking about. So we are on day 3, and they are getting bigger and bigger and growing more. I'm very happy with the progress. I really like how it's turning out. And I'm going to take this off for a second. Yeah, it's nice and warm. I love that heat. Yeah, they're looking good. And I'm seeing some red ones, or I guess it's like a purple color, dark, deep purpley color is really pretty. A nice mixture. So I'm gonna look up some recipes. Ooh, and it smells like broccoli. I always love these microgreens because I find that they always smell like their adult counterparts as well. It just is, as they taste like it, it's like a powerful taste, and it smells like them too. So it's really, really nice. So I'm excited. Day 3, and it says 5 to 7 days. So these puppies have been growing very quickly. So I'm going to assume that perhaps by day 5, maybe 7, I'm going to maybe say 7 to where I want them, that will be in some good shape to make some fun stuff. So stay tuned. All right, guys, unfortunately, I lost a bit of my footage with my new camera. So this is kind of where we ended up. This was about a good 10 days in. I was not able to chart my progress very well, but everything did pretty well. So as you can see, these were ready to harvest and get some things going. All in all, I really enjoyed this product. I thought it was great, aside from the sound. So hopefully if you are not in a 1-floor flat or apartment, you can kind of get away from the trickling sound. Otherwise, it is a short amount of time and you get a very high yield. Everything is nice and dense and turned out very well. So I do highly recommend this, and maybe even trying your own set of seeds or seeing what other other options Aerogarden has. Hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. And as always, here's wishing you guys great eats and happy gardening. Be kind to one another.